Okay, my viewer suggested that I, did one of these with my voice, so here we are. Uh, I guess I'll run through the startup procedure. It's currently raining, so first thing we're gonna do is close up the canopy. Lock it up. Let's see. And so we want to turn the battery on so that we at least have a little bit of power going. And we can start the, that'll turn on the fuel pumps and start the engine. So we're gonna wait for this to spool up just a bit, up to 20 RPM. Well, it's more like 20,000, but whatever. Alright, now that it's there, we're going to notch the throttle out of the off position to the idle position. So now I can move around the throttle. And if I wanted to, I could just put that throttle to afterburner and then take off, but there's a few other things I'd like to do. So let's turn that power on. That'll start getting power from the engines instead of just the battery. So it's pretty important. So now we're going to turn all of our avionics on, which is pretty important too. Same with our INS. We're going to want that. LV2 we need. Let's see. And take that radar altimeter all the way on. Fire control radar we're going to want. And we're going to turn on the master IFF. IFF is identification friend or foe. Lets me know who's a good guy, who's a bad guy. Pretty important. Okay, now I'm just going to turn on the outside lights. So that light's on. And that light should start blinking. There we go. Same with the lights on the inside. Turn these up all the way, because why not? There we go. Let's see. So, I need to uncage this. This is just a backup ADI. I shouldn't have to use this unless our engine gets shut at, and I don't really have any other way to tell what angle I'm at. Pretty important. XMT, this is the data link. So that lets me communicate with other people on my team, friendlies and stuff. Check fuel. Okay. Okay. Fuel looks good. Turn on the tester. It's fine. Okay. So, pretty much once you've got everything that you need to do done, actually I need to do this. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, we have a bit of time. Nothing's actually going to happen yet, so. You see these? These are just the tapes that go along with the altimeter and the speedometer, which I don't like them. They're a bit cluttery, so I can just turn them off. So now it's a bit more like a Navy jet, which doesn't have those tapes. Just has what it says. And this is a line, so that means our INS is done aligning. So I can go ahead and turn it to navigation mode. What else? Okay, so after we've done everything that we need to do, we can just check this warning panel that'll tell us what we haven't done yet. So electrical systems. That, it says something's wrong, but that's not true. That's just because we turned it on, so we can press that button. Should go back to normal. And seat's not armed, which means that our ejection seat wouldn't go off if I pulled that handle, and we want it to go off, so flick that down. Let's see. Chaff and flare is pretty important. RWR, that's our radar warning receiver. That tells me, radar warning receiver is this thing. It'll show me where the good guys or bad guys are. It'll also tell me if there's like a missile coming at me or whatever. You can turn the jammer on. That's pretty self-explanatory. That's the what's it called? That just turns everything on, all of this stuff, and the RDO also. Master arm, we can leave that off for now because don't want to accidentally shoot something on the runway. Should be everything. Let's see. Turn on our nose wheel steering. Nose wheel steering lets me steer the wheels with the rudder. So now we can just go. I won't fiddle with the AI ATC guys because that's kind of a mess. Almost missed this turn. That would have been bad. Okay. You see those? That line means I can't go across without ATC permission, but, you know, screw that. That red sign means I'm about to go into a runway. 06 right and 24 left are the runway. Is the runway I'm about to go on? But whatever. Now this runway is a bit weird, so I'm just gonna turn left onto it, and then we're gonna go all the way down. Yeah, so we're just gonna turn around down here. Should be a spot for me to do so. I could over there. Usually there's just a bit of asphalt you can use. Or I could take taxiway Bravo, which is that one, over to the other runway, but oh well. Okay, here we are. As far as I know, I do have a much more complicated version of what I just did, but that just entails, uh, like doing the different checks and stuff. Like, the checklist I just used was a page and a half. The one I'm supposed to use is 1, 2, whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 5 pages. So, saved us a bit of time. We've got a bunch of runway, so it doesn't really matter, we can just punch it. We'll take it into mill power. Mill power is the highest the engine can go without actually going into afterburner, which that's pretty important. We don't really want to go into afterburner because that burns a lot of fuel. Plus we've got a whole bunch of runway, so it doesn't matter. There we go. we're gonna want to take those gear up before we hit 300 miles an hour, or 300 knots actually. Because if we don't, our gear will just get jammed. Don't want that. They should be up. Yeah. Alright. So now, I have myself a few waypoints. I guess I'll just do the briefing right now, because while we were on the ground I just talked about the checklist. So, we got a call that a cargo ship that was coming into this island was getting attacked by pirates. So, we're gonna go fly over the pirates, give them a scare. If they don't, pull off, we're gonna have to take them out. Which, easy peasy. Pirates, tiny boat. There's two of them, I think. So this waypoint should be where that ship is currently. But even if the ship moves past that point, it's pretty slow, so, I don't want to go up too high because the clouds. Actually, I probably shouldn't stay too low either. We don't want to stay in the clouds too long. Builds up a lot of static electricity. Could be dangerous. Yeah. Plus lightning. It's pretty scary. Don't want that. Put us back into real power there. This is a very tall cloud. Yeah, it started at pretty much zero because we were at sea level, but now we're at 10,000 feet. There we go. Turned a bit past it. That's fine. I can just go back. There we go. So I'm just going to turn on that autopilot. The F-16 has a very, very basic autopilot. It's kind of funny how bad it is. It's basically two switches. So your altitude hold, so that just, holds what altitude you're at. There's attitude hold, which holds like what pitch you're at, what degree you're at. I mean, they're pretty handy. Or you can turn the autopilot off with this right switch. And the left switch is the roll, so you can either put in like a heading that you want to fly, or steering select goes to the waypoint that I have over here. Or you can just do attitude hold, which will hold what roll altitude you get. Or attitude, I mean. Alright. We did just climb up here, but it's almost time for us to go back down. Let's see. Turn that autopilot back off. Start our zen. Don't want to go too fast because I'm already very close to Mach 1. Don't really want to uh, damage anything on the ship we're trying to protect by going Mach 1. So we're just not gonna do that. Alright. We're approaching 5,000 feet. We're still in the clouds, which is pretty insane. Or we could just be in the rain. You see, that could be rain, and that could be clouds. And we're just in really, really heavy condensation, but I got no clue. Bank left a little bit, because... Okay. There we go. Start leveling out a bit now. Just gonna look for them. The tanker should be pretty easy to spot. Well, it's not a tanker, just a cargo ship in general. Should be easy to spot. That could be it over there. I think so. Looks like it. We'll go ahead and steer into that, see what it is. I bet these pirates didn't expect a, fighter jet, but whatever. Yep, there's our tanker. Pretty big. Then there's our little pirates. Oh, and they're shooting at me. Okay, didn't even have to buzz them. Rules of engagement are I can just shoot back at them. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright. Turn that master on. Let's see. Pulling a bit too hard because I wasn't really paying attention. I really don't think they hit us, but I hope they didn't. I didn't hear any you hear like ticking sounds. That's what getting hit sounds like. Sounds like rain in a car, pretty much. I didn't hear that. We are now going Mach 1. Might want to slow down a bit. There we go. So we got our gun. We don't have any like bombs or anything, so this is the best air-to-ground weapon we got. It's a good thing they're using tracers because then I can tell when they're shooting at me. Where are these guys? They're there. Yeah, we're flying straight at them, so it's a bit more dangerous. Don't think I hit him. But whatever. Can always come around again. No clue if I hit. Got really low there. Nope, he's still shooting at me. Let's see. Let's try and come in a bit higher now. Got one. There we go. He is really mad at us. Pull around. Try and hit that second one. Where is it? There he is. I do not have much ammo left, so gonna try not to be too liberal. Or I should have just packed bombs, but whatever. Too late now. Okay. Dang. One good thing is that they have about as bad aim as I do. So, you know. Don't know what kind of AKs they got with tracers. Got them deluxe AKs. Boy. We're gonna come in a bit higher, because until we got the other one. See if that works. There we go. Jeez. That took way longer than it should have. Jeez. Okay. Let's give this guy a wave and then we'll go back home. Should bust the tower. Alright. Let's go home. Alright, we'll climb through this little patch in the clouds, I guess. Just turn the autopilot back on, because I can fly better than I can. Another innocent person saved. Well, few people. It's a big ship. Well, got a bit of a flight ahead of us, so just talk. I really like how camouflage looks on F-16s, but the US really doesn't like putting camouflage on its aircraft for some reason. I love the way it looks. Other countries like the way it looks. But the F-16 was always going to be a quantity over quality sort of aircraft. Like, there's so many of these out there. Same idea with the paint. Instead of, well, first off, the idea is that the bad guy is never gonna have to see you because you've got missiles that can go miles and miles. But also, gray paint is just lighter, like physically lighter, weighs less, and it's cheaper. And it works as a pretty good camo, just one gray color. But I don't know. Yeah, pretty much. Uh, Yep, I don't know. I've been flying this aircraft for a few months, but I'm still pretty far away from mastering it. We can start our descent now. Yep. Oh, did not realize we were already over land. Just dive in a cooler way. Punch through these clouds. We're going about Mach 1.1 or 2. Alright, there's our airfield. We should really slow down. Go ahead and put our brakes on. You know, we can go ahead and count that as the downwind, so we can. Oops, not that. Control B, I think. My cat is currently putting his paw under the door over there, moving around my shoes. It's a bit distracting, but whatever. Alright. Go ahead and drop our gear. Come around. Don't want to stall out. I'm going pretty slow right now. Should be fine. Okay. Bit of a miscalculation. We can just pull hard, make it work. Whatever. In the words of a very wise CFI, you can always go around. This really do not look right coming down, so we probably will come around. Okay, this is horrible. Okay, we're just gonna pull off, take our gear back up, not strike the ground. Okay. We're gonna not be so hasty this time. We're gonna take our time, wait a while. Guess we'll just observe the coast of this nice island. Baseball pitch. Drop our gear. Really gotta figure out how to do INS landings in this thing, but whatever. We've got our eyeballs. Alright. That red one on the left is just a bit longer, so we're gonna take that one. Got that angle of attack indicator on the left there, which should come on soon. Tell us whether we're doing good or not. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good. Whoops. Pretty rough. But I've had worse ones. Gonna turn our nose wheel steering back on. It's definitely not smooth and buttery, but whatever. Okay. That was tough. Just gonna turn around here. Taxi back to where we took off from. So although we flew about 75 miles on the mission, I'd say, that technically doesn't count as, what's it called? Hang on. I'm lost again. Okay, never mind. I'll just... Okay, now I took a right turn. So, yeah, the 75 miles, that doesn't count as a cross-country mission because we took off from this airport and we landed back at this airport, so it doesn't count. It's the exact same with, so, back in the days of Vietnam, so Operation Linebacker, a bunch of B-52s took off from, not this airbase, but there's an airbase a few miles out away that they took off from. They flew from, like, let me think. We're in the middle of the Pacific right now. This is the Marianas Islands. I forget which island we're on right now, but Marianas Islands, middle of the Pacific. They flew from here all the way to Vietnam, dropped their bombs on Hanoi or whatever, came back here. So that's like a few thousand miles at the least, and that still doesn't count as cross country because they took off and landed at the same airport. So they couldn't get their cross country hours, even though they already had a bunch of hours just doing other stuff. So pretty stupid. It's technically an international airport, but who cares? Okay. Okay. Now to turn this aircraft off, you pretty much just do everything we did at the beginning in reverse. Let's see. Get my checklist back open. Since we didn't use afterburner, we used like hardly any fuel. We still used a lot of fuel, but not as much as we would have. So yeah. This off. Turn all these off. Let's see. I put that there. All right. So that was a pretty successful mission, I'd say. We did what we were supposed to do. Had a really rough landing right at the end. But whatever. 2 out of 2 kills. And our ship is still alive, wherever it is. So, I'd say it was pretty successful. Don't know about you.